Untamed and uncut.
The rate I was going when I was living here in Philadelphia, I wasn't, you know, I was hanging out with the wrong crowd kind of thing, you know, getting in a lot of fights on the street. And at that time, my brother was living in New Jersey with my grandmother. He wasn't living in Philadelphia. And the way he actually got started before I did with the Jiu-Jitsu, about 3 years earlier than I did, and, you know, since he got started, he was always trying to get me in, but like I said, the rate I was going, I didn't want to, just wanted to hang out with my friends and do what kids normally like to do and getting in trouble, you know. And it came to a point where I either had to go this way in life or go this way, because stuff was getting pretty crazy where I was from. My brother came to me one day and he invited me to the gym, Maxercise, where we started out. And the way he heard about it was Steve Maxwell was who we started off with. He was a state champion wrestler, also a good friend of my mother's, the whole family, and he used to bring his kids over to my mother's house to babysit. And one day he came over and Phil happened to be there, and this is about the time that he was getting involved with the Jiu-Jitsu. They just had a little club out there, and he had met Gracie in some kind of martial arts expo, and as soon as he you know, met Royce and saw what he could do, he immediately fell in love with the art, and Steve started doing it. So he invited my brother down, and they became, you know, best of friends, and, you know, they started training. And it was one of the first academies outside of the Gracie Academy, which was pretty, nobody knew what Jiu-Jitsu was, so it was a pretty big deal. And then maybe about 3 years later, and I was always boxing when I, in South Philly, I was always, you know, involved in something. And he invited me down. I started training a little bit. A month came by, and I said, you know what? And I was cocky. I wanted to try a tournament. So they had a little in-house tournament. So I went against a guy who might have been half my size, little guy. And I don't even think it was 30 seconds. 30 seconds, and I was choked, triangle choke. And I remember sitting on the side and going up to the corner and just thinking, what the heck just happened? And I asked the guy what he showed me, and every day, off that point, I remember it was right in front of it was right in the beginning of the summertime. Every day that summer, I was there morning, night, cleaning the mats, doing what I had to do to stay in there. And slowly, but, you know, surely, I was off the street, wasn't fighting. I was even trying to get my friends to come in that I was hanging out with, but they went another way. And it is what it is now. I mean, I'm making a good living. I didn't even know Jiu-Jitsu or MMA would be what it was today. But what I do know is I was prepared to work for the rest of my life just so I can have time to do this art. That's how much I loved it. I would work in factories, I don't care where, just so I did it. But it got so big, especially with the UFC and the Gracie family and Royce Gracie being in UFC, made it so popular. People fell in love with it like I did, as they should have. And that was pretty much the start of it. And then later on, that's when I got the opportunity to go to the Gracie Academy to learn how to teach, which was probably the best experience that I've ever had in my life. And anything that I don't regret anything, but I would never regret doing that. because I actually learned how to, you know, teach my students, and that's why my students are at the caliber they're at today. It's because of that academy. It's one thing to be a great fighter. I could be the best fighter in the world. It's another thing to be able to convey my knowledge to somebody else. And same thing, my brother and I, our goals were to do that and create, you know, good fighters. And if I'm a great fighter but I don't know how to convey those things, what good am I to you other than being a good fighter? So that's one thing I picked up from down there, and it was really good. That's something a lot of people don't have. You know, I always hear complaints about, you know, yeah, I tried Jiu-Jitsu, but I really couldn't understand the guy, or this and that, and they seemed not to be passionate about teaching. Me, if one of my students doesn't get a move, I won't sleep that night. I'll go to the next, and my students will tell you. I'll come back, I'll make sure they get it.
Name's Sam Oropeza, fight out of the city of Philadelphia, Briarcliff, Pennsylvania native. Fight for King of the Cage currently, and my professional record's 4-1. I've been training with Rick Migliarese since May of 2006. He's unbelievable, one of the best jiu-jitsu guys around. Comes to any combat sport, Rick is awesome. He's really helped me out, helped develop my game since I started in jiu-jitsu. So, you know, come here, try to train as much as I can. It's always been helpful, always helps out new guys, and doesn't discriminate against anybody. You know, if you're here to learn and you want to fight, Rick's going to help you out.
My goal for my gym, my brother and I have, we want to make everybody tap us out, pretty much. Well, I want to train these guys to be able to be great training partners for me.
My name is Anthony Cheesesteak Morrison, North Philly born and bred. I'm here at Balance Studios on a Sunday, still working hard. I'm here with my good friend and trainer partner, Phil Migliarese, down here at Balance Studios. We go a little ways back, man, from the time when I first started dojo crashing. Ironically, you know how like those situations come about where you know somebody but you don't really know them? Well, I was coming here to balance the dojo crash like 2 weeks prior to the time where I met them, both of the Migliarese brothers. So I didn't know they were the owners of it. So thank God I found out they was the owners of Balance before I came down here to dojo crash. But other than that, they're good peoples, man, real good peoples, man. They help me out a lot. I come down here, do my sparring, catch up with the workouts for the week because they know that I'm a very busy person and I love to work. The gi work is pretty damn good. I come here to work my gi and my striking from time to time with a few of the guys from the competition team here. And overall, man, I like both of the guys and they little dog too, you know. But all in all, good peoples, man. Phil Migliarese. You know, what else can I say, man? The name speaks for itself, man. He kind of reminds you of Joe Pesci, a little taller, a little bit better looking. You know what I'm saying? But that's my boy, man. 100 grand. So big ups to Balance and the Migliarese brothers. Hopefully, I get more and more time, and we go up as far as we possibly can as far as training goes and success in the MMA career. So, thank you.
I always hear people having secrets. There's no secrets anymore. Not with YouTube and not with all this knowledge you have. There's no secrets. It doesn't make sense to me not to teach my students everything. I learn from my students. Every day I come in, I learn from everybody. I'm always open, and I teach my students also to be open. You come in here, it's a big family atmosphere, and you're not gonna get that ego. We actually have a sign on the front of the door that says, "Leave your ego at the door," you know, along with your shoes, because we don't want any of that in here either. But yeah, so we come in here, and I tell my students, I said, I'm here to teach you everything. If you have something to show me, show me. I'm willing to learn too. As soon as I got my black belt, that's when I became a real student. You learn to open up and you know, listen to everybody. And pretty much we have 300 students going strong in here in the headquarters of Balance Studios here in Center City, Philadelphia. And we got almost close to 25, 30 affiliates all around the world. And I also, you know, we come here and we help other people. We have a lot of great academies here in Philadelphia. There's a lot of great academies with great instructors. And the Philly fighters are really doing good, especially in the upcoming UFCs, WEC, you know, all the great events. Bellator, we've been here. And I'd love to help these guys out, you know. I don't ask them for anything. I just want to come in. I want to be a part of getting these guys better, you know, getting Philly on the map, which it is. But, you know, these guys are working hard to get in that cage. And I give them all the respect in the world, you know, and they're making the effort to come in. I'm going to give them, you know, anything I can.
Yeah, Ricardo is a teacher and fighter. He's amazing. He's in here doing tons of rounds every day. He's on the mats with us. I mean, it's not that he's just teaching from like a bird's eye view, but he's in the mix. He's probably rolls 10 rounds. He'll put on the gloves and box 10 rounds with you, and as you go between each round, he's picking you apart and telling you as you go. So it gives you like an awesome hands-on feel instead of just like as an instructor speaking down to you. That's what I like. He's in the mix, you know. He knows where you're weak and where you're strong and can go with that. Great person. He's open arms to everybody. As soon as I come here to Philly, I moved here with nothing, and he opened his doors right up to me first day, and been here ever since. I live around the block, so we're always in here, and just open arms, you know.
Good round. You gotta take that a little bit.
So here at Balance Studios, basically my brother and I have a goal, and our goal is to, one, we want to try to create the perfect training partner for ourselves. So that's how we think about it. So we're not hiding any techniques. We're not trying to keep anything from our students. You know, I want to train my students to be the best. So in return, when I'm training with them, they make me the best. You know, so it's kind of like a double-edged sword when you think about if you're not teaching your students everything, then you're actually getting a disservice yourself by not having good training partners. Because you're only as good as your environment. That's what we believe here.
1, 1, 2. Check me out right here, yo. Need to turn the track up a little bit for me. All up in my ears. The mic is loud, but the music is loud. Yeah. Yeah. Now the mic is low now. Turn the mics up a little bit. My this shit's all the way up. Yeah. The music is loud. It's hot, That's what I'm talking about. I just want to wild out.
My brother Phil Migliarese. Yeah, he was probably the biggest influence in my whole life. You know, especially with what I do now with the Jiu-Jitsu. He's the one that stood by me. You know, wanted me to get in here when I was hanging out on the street, doing nothing but fighting. You know, he was kind of getting worried about me, and then eventually he got fed up and just drugged me into the gym, and really changed my life for the better. I mean, I honestly believe if I didn't start doing jiu-jitsu and started surrounding myself around positive people, I wouldn't be where I am today. I'd probably be dead or in jail, probably with the rate I was going. Never a bad kid, but I was fighting a lot, you know. And then, ironically enough, that's what I do for a living now.
We'll talk about that tip. We need to bring in our guest here, Phil. Of course, how long have you been teaching self-defense courses?
For 22 years.
Give us your expertise. Give me your
I'm a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and Gracie Jiu-Jitsu is a martial art for smaller people against bigger people.
Well, now this woman, I think she's 34 years old. You're going for a run. It's 6:30 in the evening over at Fairmount Park. And a guy comes out of the bushes there and jumps her from behind. What should she do? He says, I've got a gun, it's in her back. Yeah. What does she do?
Make noise, take a chance, and get out of there. You know, because you don't know what they have, and you want to split, even though they have the gun.
So he was definitely a big influence. He's the guy, I come in here, he takes his time with me. He's real patient, you know, especially because I was a wild kid. So I'm sure he understood, I'm sure I prepped him for any other wild man he's going to deal with. But along with him teaching me and just the surroundings that I had inside the gym, it was all positive people. I probably wouldn't ever talk to any of these people or befriended any of these people if it wasn't for jiu-jitsu. I wouldn't have met half the people I'm great friends with. You meet a lot of great people here. The sport's not like what you think. People think it's barbaric. You're coming in, it's like a fight club, you guys are beating up. It's more than that. We're a big family here, especially at Balance Studios. The atmosphere and the ambience that we want is that. And we got it. We got it. And we're, I'm proud of all my students. They come with arms open, knowledge. They also come with, discipline. We try to keep all the students out of trouble. I'm always trying to go back to the neighborhood, get the local kids, get them involved, and have this change their life like it did mine. It's pretty much my goal in life now.
Actually, I started something new this year. I started working out at Balance Studios, working with Rick and Phil. They're doing some MMA stuff. So, just keep adding different things into my repertoire.
Mixed martial arts we're talking about?
Yes. I'm talking about hands, elbows, knees, a little, a little bit of everything, a little ground game.
Thank you. Far too kind.
Yeah. Ready? Can I get an encore? Do you want more?
Cook and roll with the Brooklyn boys. So for one last time, I need y'all to roll. Now what the hell are you waiting for? After me, there should be no more. So for one last time, make some noise.
Get him, Jay.
Who you know fresher than Ho? Riddle me that. The rest of y'all know where I'm lyrically at. Can't none of y'all mirror me back. Yeah, hear me rap, it's like hand G rapping his prime. I'm young H.O., raps Grateful Dead. Back to take over the globe, now break bread. I'm in Boeing Jets, Global Express. Out the country, but the blueberries still connect. On the low, but the yacht got a triple deck. But when you young, what you expect? Yep. Grand opening, grand closing. Damn your manhole, crack the can open again. Who you gonna find open in him with no pen? Just draw inspiration. Who you gonna see you can't replace him with cheap imitations of these generations? Hardcore, do you want more? Cook and roll with the Brooklyn boys. So for one last time, I need y'all to roll. Yeah. Now what the hell are you waiting for? After me, there should be no more. So for one last time, make some noise. What the hell are you waiting for? Look what you made me do, look what I made for you. Knew if I paid my dues, how will they pay you? When you first come in the game, they try to play you. Then you drive a couple of hits, look how they wait to you. From RC to Madison Square, to the only thing that matters is just a matter of years. As fate would have it, J status appears to be at an all-time high. Perfect time to say goodbye. When I come back like Jordan, we're in the 4-5. It ain't to play games with you, it's to aim at you. Probably maim you. If I owe you, I'm blowing you to smithereens. Except I take one for your team, and I need you to remember one thing. I came, I saw, I conquered. From record sales, sold out concerts. Shmup, you want this encore? I need you to scream till your lungs get sore. Come on.
I'm tired of being what you want me to be. Feeling so faithless.
Yeah, well, we go hard. It's not all bones and biscuits, Whether you're talking classes for conditioning or you want to be the top dog in MMA, we work hard here to achieve our goals. Trust me, if you have personal goals, you can make it happen. If you can sit there and listen to a pep talk from a dog, anything is possible. Stop down and talk to Rick, Phil, or even me if you're interested in Balance Studios. And tell them Miggsy sent you.
Right here we have my brother and our instructor, Relson Gracie, right here. This is when my brother got his black belt, which was quite an accomplishment. Relson's been not only an instructor of ours, but he's actually part of our family. He comes down, he stays with us. He's actually been there more than anybody. He used to fly down from Hawaii, come down here, give us moves, and then that was before YouTube, and then we would have to train those moves, and then until the next time he came back. So that's him right here. He gave Actually, my brother and I are his black belts. And around here, there's my brother here. My brother was also featured on MMA Worldwide. They had a big article about him. He, you know, got in a bad accident, car accident, where they told him he wouldn't be able to do anything ever again, even walk. So he pretty much told them. So got a lot of accolades here, awards, Beast of the East, Balance Studios. These are from all the team balances all around the world. We collect points, you know, collectively. This is what we accomplished here. And you can look down the whole wall and see, you know, all the stuff we had. Yeah. Featured in magazines like Tap Out magazines. We also have articles here. We have Frankie Edgar. He stopped by. We actually helped him out for his first UFC appearance versus Mark Bocek. Great guy. I mean, he's like a sponge. Won't learn anything, you know. Great dude. You walk down here, you also see Relson Gracie when I got second in the Mundials in '99. We got a lot of stuff here. This is basically that article talking about our lives and, you know, how we grew up.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there.
Anybody that lives near the Philadelphia area or even traveling and is in Philadelphia for any time period, come check out Team Balance here, Balance Studios, Center City, Philadelphia. You can go to teambalance.com or also freejujitsu.com.